Ooh. Ah. Wow. Hey guys, welcome back. I don't know if you can tell, but we changed the lighting up a little bit in here, so it should be a little brighter. We put some LEDs in where normally the shop had the old school metal halide bulbs. So yeah, I don't know, we've been needing to upgrade the shop lights for a while. So like this bay right here that I'm standing under hasn't worked right for a long time, and it's the ballast. So there's a bunch of ballasts upstairs that run each bay for these lights. So I finally just went and got some bulbs, went up there. Not an electrician by any means, but I'm a jack of all trades. I figured out how to wire around the ballast, and we were able to switch over to these corncob style lights is what they call them. So here's what used to be there, the old metal halide style, and now this is what this has. So some of these are 15,000 looms, some of them are 20. I put a 20 over there for that one because it's all by itself. You know, and every other bay has two lights. There is a light in the center right there, but I need to change the receptacle or the socket. So that light originally should have been over here up where the upstairs is, but you know, when they built the shop in the early 70s, they didn't need a light up there because, you know, they had the upstairs, there's no point, so they ended up putting it right there. But my brother and I, as kids, we used to like to play home run derby in here, and over there by the big sliding doors, that was home base. So one of us would stand about right here and pitch to each other, and yeah, well, let's just say we hit a home run, we hit the lights. So that thing's been broke for a while, and I looked at it a while back, and you can see the socket or the receptacles kind of melted and burned up. So I got a new one. I got to change it. I haven't done it yet, but yeah, it was a needed upgrade. So we did all these, and then I did the two out on the wash rack. Having a little trouble with those. Still trying to get them to work. They work when they want to. But yeah, it was pretty simple. Just wire around the ballast, kind of like your fluorescent tubes we have up there, but a little bit different, but basically the same thing. So yeah, the plus to these, obviously they use less power, but they're an instant on, instant off, where with the old metal halides, you know, anyone who's been around them, you turn them on, they gotta warm up, you know, and then they get bright. And then if the power went out or you ever wanted to turn them off, you know, they had to kind of cool down before they'd fire back up. So now this is instant on, instant off. The shop does have some fluorescent tubes. It has a set there, and then, oh, right here above the Harrow bed. Those were there originally for, like, you know, if you were coming in here at night and you just needed to come in and go out really quick, you know, you could turn the fluorescents on because they would come on instantly. That way you didn't have to, you know, turn on the metal halide bulbs, because it is kind of hard on those things to turn them off and on, you know, more than you need to, just because of the heat and everything. So yeah, I don't know, maybe it'll help with filming too. I don't know that it's, I mean, it is brighter. I think it's a crisper light, if that makes any sense. The old bulbs, they were bright. They just weren't the most efficient. But if anybody's worked in a shop, you know you can never have enough light. So this is a pretty big improvement. We've had it like this for a day or two, and everybody seems to be pretty happy with it. So, but anyway, well, it's going to be 87 degrees today, which we're actually going to break a record by 2. So the old record was 85. It's going to be 87. But typical California, then it's probably going to drop back down into the 60s. There are a few little chances of rain out there, you know, in the 2-week forecast. So our customers are kind of hesitant to cut any hay. For me, the old rule of thumb is, you know, wait till after Easter. But sometimes Easter's early, sometimes Easter's late. So just depends, but we'll see. But as of right now, we're not planning nothing on the books to cut. So what we're doing, we've been outside. You guys will see that today. We're cleaning up around the yard. We've been trimming up our eucalyptus trees. We're rearranging the yard. We've been throwing some scrap metal away, kind of sorting through it, keeping what we think we'll need. And then we got the Harrow bed in here, got it in here yesterday. So that table that's up, they call that the second table. So on these Harrow beds, which this one's not set up to do small bales anymore, but this is where the small bales would, you know, get picked up by the loader over there, then slide over here. So they call this your first table, and then it goes up onto your second table, which is what we have up. And ours, the floor was in pretty poor shape. You know, it'd been welded up a little bit, but it was just, I don't know, kind of getting to the point where kind of beyond repair. And plus too, this, I guess the flooring in these things is made out of like a higher carbon steel. Must just make it stronger and more rigid, but it does make it a pain in the ass to weld on it. And it had been welded on before by us and by guys before, but it was just broke out in places. And I was actually on social media, there's a guy that I follow that's got a bunch of these Harrow beds, and I noticed in the background that they had a diamond plate floor on their second table on a Harrow bed like ours. And I thought, man, that's what we need to do. You know, it'd be simple. So yeah, we just got, it's 2 sheets. We got 4x10 sheets and then sheared them to size. Excuse me. And then stuck them in there, and the seam in the middle, you know, my guy George stitch welded it, you know, a little bit, and then we put that's like a piece of 1x1 angle just to cover the seam, but to also kind of make a guide maybe, so when this thing comes up, you know, on the bale slide, it'll help. So it looks pretty good. He got most of it done yesterday. He's got a little bit of welding to do yet on the bottom, but don't worry, the safety latch is up. So yeah, he's got to put a few welds right here, and excuse me, it'll be done. And I think all the hay equipment will be completely done. I mean, like I've said before, there's always things you could do to them, but you know, it's minor things. So this was a project that definitely needed to be done, so this will get done today. So anyway, I'm going to put the camera down and we will catch up with you guys in a little bit. I'm going to be out in the yard moving some of our old equipment that we had when we were farming. We don't use a whole lot anymore. I'm kind of putting it over in the corner of the yard, kind of making that the area of stuff that we don't use anymore, but we don't want to get rid of. If that makes any sense. So I will see you guys out in the shop yard. So yeah, like I said, we've been cleaning up around the yard, you know, kind of done with getting hay equipment ready. We still got to do the almond stuff, but I want to get the yard cleaned up. So yeah, I'm just moving stuff around. Like I said, this area over here, we're kind of stuff we don't want to get rid of, but don't really use anymore. I'm going to kind of put it over here, kind of in this corner. So we got, you know, some older tractors that my dad farmed with, my grandpa farmed with, stuff that I grew up on, learning how to drive, our old spray truck, and a few other miscellaneous things. So we're going to kind of put everything over in this corner, kind of help open up the front of the yard for the stuff we use daily. So I got the angle blade, I'm going to unhook it. I got a couple scrapers and a little disc, so I'm going to get these unhooked. That's not gonna work. Gotta go find a hammer strap. On to the next one. Hey guys, next day after, watching me move things around in the yard. So we got the yard cleaned up, kind of putting it back together. Anyway, I'm here at the shop before everybody. I wanted to check out on the balers. I don't know how well you can see that, but we, I guess we've been a lot into changing lights a lot. So the lights on these balers have never been the greatest. I'm talking about the tail lights and the hazard lights. So normally it was just a regular old light with like an 1156 bulb, not the brightest. And these things are out on the road a lot, especially at night. So we just stuck in some LED like trailer lights. So I just want to see what the difference is, how bright they are. So then I got to go in the shop and do a little project. But let's check these lights out first. They're bright, and like I said, they're just regular, LED like, trailer lights you'd put on a trailer or back of a truck or something. So like I said, these guys are out at night a lot, so they need all the light they can get, and especially with the way most people treat farm equipment on the road, you gotta be safe, you gotta be prepared, because not a lot of respect for farm equipment all the time on the road. But all right, let's get in the shop, go do the next thing on the list. projects are never in short supply around this place. So trailer project that the guy started on yesterday. This was an old trailer that my dad used to use to haul his dune buggy around, and I think he hauled his sprint car a time or two on it, but you can never have enough trailers. The guy told me that a long time ago. So we're gonna clean it up, fix it up. We're actually gonna make it a little bit longer because, I don't know, we'll use it kind of as a utility trailer, but I want to be able to put that thing on it, and that thing is longer than I thought. So from front tire to back tire, it's like 12 feet. In this trailer, I think the deck is like, I think it was like an inch under 10 feet. So we're going to extend it 3 feet, but we're going to go 1.5 feet on this side and 1.5 feet on that side to kind of keep balance, you know, that way hopefully we don't have to move the axles, because it's, you know, it's just a light little dinky trailer just for, you know, light things kind of like that. So yeah, that's the project here. Hopefully we can get it done. We need, you know, need a patch job on the tire, should be fine. And then, you know, wheel bearings, and then some lights. We have some channel iron laying around that we can use. It's all 5-inch channel. So yeah, we're going to extend it, move everything back. Should be a pretty simple project. So, but me this morning, I'm going to work on, I got this hydraulic press like, oh God, 5 years ago. It's probably more like 6 or 7 years ago, the way time flies. One of my buddy's dads, he upgraded his shop press and asked me if I wanted one. I was like, oh heck yeah, I want to, you know, it's electric over hydraulic press. So this is it. Finally got it in the shop. Our shop is 220 3-phase grounded, so I had to get a plug, which I don't know why it was such a pain in the butt to find. It took like 2 or 3 times to find it, but I guess there's just a bunch of different, you know, styles. I'll put this up here. There's just a bunch of different styles of this plug, I guess, so it took a couple times to find it, but I think we finally found the right one. So it was like, you know, I got one and it was like the little ground strap was over like 1/8 of an inch too far. And then we got another one, and one of the prongs in there had an extra little piece on it and it didn't fit, but I think we got the right one this time. So I did wire this thing up temporarily with a plug that I took off of our shear over there, and it worked. So I know how to do it, but I just got the right plug. So anyway, we're gonna do that. But first, I'm gonna shut the power off. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, I changed the settings in the camera, trying to get more clarity out of it. I uploaded some of the footage to my editor yesterday, and it kind of narrowed it up a little bit, so this video might look a little different. I don't know, but I'm playing with it, trying to get something, you know, a little more clear out of it, but I'm learning. Just to double check that the power is off. It's on. Now I'm going to make sure this plug fits before I start working on it. Oh yeah, that's it. Cool. I don't claim to be an electrician, but I can usually figure it out. What's that saying? Jack of all trades, master of none. There's another part to that. Jack of all trades, master of none is better than a master of one, something like that. I don't know. Okay, moment of truth. Here we go. Perfect. Well, that thing should come in handy. We have a, you know, bottle jack press over there that we use quite a bit, but this will be handy for certain things when you need a little more power. So anyway, well, that's going to do it for this one, guys. So we'll catch you in the next one. I hope you've enjoyed the last couple videos. I'm hoping we start cutting hay, weather depending. We're kind of in that time of year around here where, you know, a 30% chance in the forecast could turn into like a 100% chance, and then like a quarter-inch of predicted rain could turn into like an inch of rain. So everyone's a little gun shy, but I'm sure if it's not this Monday, it'll, you know, be the following week. But if nothing else, I know after Easter we'll be cutting, because that's usually the rule of thumb. But we'll see what happens. So we'll see you guys next time. Thanks. That was my funny bone. I thought that would be tighter.